Algebra 2, this is going to be Chapter 6, Section 4. I'm actually going to have 3 videos in this section. I decided to do a third video right here in the middle. We're covering completing the squares, and so to complete the square you probably need to know what that means. And in my last video I kind of showed you what you were looking for. In this video we want to know what's going to go here where the C is. And so remember in the last video I said you got to square root this last number and then you've got to multiply that by 2. So to work backwards to get this C, we would take this 12 and you divide by 2 and you get 6. And then you take the 6 and you'd square it and you get 36. So C has to be 36 in order for this to be a perfect square. So in order for this to be a perfect square, this would have to be x squared plus 12x plus 36. And you can see whenever you make this into the 2 parentheses, 6 times 6 gives you 36, and 6 plus 6 gives you that 12. So this does in fact work. So to work backwards, you're going to take the middle term, divide it by 2, and then take whatever that number is and square it, and that's going to be what C is. And that's what my steps down here will tell you. Step 1, find half of what B is, right, because you're looking for C. Square that result, and then add it to the end of this. So let's show you another one. Here 16 is our middle one. So half of 16 is 8. 8 squared is 64. So this would have to be x squared plus, get rid of that. X squared plus 16x plus 64 in order for this to be a perfect square. And so when you factor this out, that would in fact work. 64 squared is 8. So if you put the 8s here, that would give you, when you multiplied your middle terms back and you're foiling, your 16x in the middle. Okay, one more time. Half of 12 is 6. 6 squared is 36. So this would be x squared minus 12x plus 36. One more time. Half of 3 would be 3 halves. Squared would be 9/4. And so this would be x squared minus 3x plus 9/4. And let's actually look that one back the other way because you're probably kind of confused. So I put my x's there. Square root of 9/4 is 3 halves, right? And the negative sign right here would mean those are both negative. So let me make sure I put a negative sign in there. And let's FOIL. X times x would be x squared. X times 3 halves would be minus 3 halves x. 3 halves x times x would be minus 3 halves x. And minus 3 halves times minus 3 halves would be plus 9/4. When you add your middle terms together, this would be then 6 over 2. And 6 over 2 is in fact 3, so this is x squared minus 6 over 2x plus 9/4. And 6 over 2 is 3, so x squared minus 3x plus 9/4. And you get back to where you started. So it even works whenever it doesn't really look like it's going to work. It still works as a process.